Hi, this is Vicky. Today I'm going to be doing the 25 things you probably don't know about me tag. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So you're supposed to tell 25 things that probably people don't know about you. Number one, I hate it when there's hardly anybody in a movie theater and you pick your seat out and you're sitting there and like a couple will come in and they sit right next to you or right in front of you, but the whole theater practically is empty. I just don't get people. It seems like people want to sit next to other people sometimes, and I don't know, I would think that you would want more room and you wouldn't want anybody in your way, but I don't know, that's just me. It's just a little pet peeve of mine. And number two, I do not really care for birds. If they're in a cage, that's fine. My brother has a big, what's it called? African gray. And anyway, he let it out of its cage one time. It flew over and nipped me on the head, and birds just freak me out. So, of course, I freaked out over that. And I don't know. And then one time, there was this bird sitting right next to my car door on a perch and on a pole, low pole that was like even with my door. And anyway, it was a big old blackbird. And every time I tried to go reach for the door handle, it would like come at me. So I had to go enter my car from the opposite side, climb over the seat, the bucket seat, so climb over the console to get to the other side. So that was a lot of fun. So birds just freak me out. Especially when you watch that movie Birds. You probably never want to be around a bird again. That's an old movie. Anyway, number three, my favorite sandwich is an egg and olive sandwich. And I know a lot of people might think, ooh, that sounds gross. But I've noticed there's a few restaurants now that sell egg and olive sandwiches. They are so good. They're the best sandwiches ever. Ugh, love it. Number four, my favorite food is Mexican food. I could eat it every single day. Some of you might already know that. But favorite food ever. Love almost everything. Chips and salsa, the enchiladas, tacos, burritos. I pretty much love everything. So, let's see. Number five, when I was a teenager, around 14, 15, I was obsessed with Tom Jones. I had every album that he ever sold, and I went to his concert and I ran up to the stage and I touched him on the arm, and I was all thrilled. And and then once I had a boyfriend, I dropped Tom Jones like a hot potato. And I sold all his albums for like $50 to a little old lady. And she was happy. Number six. Okay. I like the more geared toward teenage, young women TV shows. Okay, I love Gossip Girl, and it's in its last season that just started, and I'm really sad that it's ending. And I watched Dawson's Creek before. What else? I can't think right now, but I love those type of shows. I don't watch Jersey Shore or any of that stuff, but love Gossip Girl. Number seven. I hated PE in school. I never cut class except for PE. Couldn't stand that class. I have it first period a lot of the times, so we would just miss PE and be late for school. We'd go have breakfast, my friend and I, and we had a pretty good time until, all good things have to end. And I finally got caught. I don't remember if she did, but I remember I finally got caught. It took forever. before they finally started catching on, and then, you know, they gave me the threat that, oh, you have to attend, and you have to bring up your grade in PE. This is hurting your grade, so I had to start going. But I couldn't stand PE. And we had the meanest PE teacher. She was so mean. I would tell her name, but just in case other people might see this, I'm not going to mention it, but she was so mean. Number 8. I worked as a dispatcher for 28 years. I loved my job. I loved being a dispatcher. I used to first dispatch tow trucks, and then I dispatched regular. Well, I worked for like a shoring equipment that we delivered, like K-rail, those white barricades that you see on the road, traffic control things, shoring equipment for construction workers to work underground and things like that. So we delivered that kind of stuff on regular, 18-wheeler trucks. So anyway, I lost my job in 2008, and I haven't been able to find anything since in the field that I would love to work in. So anyway, number 9. I would like to skydive someday. I've never had the opportunity to do it, but it's always been something I thought I would love to do. So someday. Let's see. Number 10. I once was fired from my very first job I had because I couldn't make a perfectly round scoop of ice cream. They used to want the scoops just perfectly round on the cone. You couldn't have any ice cream sticking out, any jagged edges, anything. It had to be perfectly round. Well, every time I did it, there'd be something sticking out, a piece sticking out, so I got fired after a couple days because I couldn't do that. So, anyway. Number 11. Before I buy a book, I read the last page. I've always done that ever since I've been young. I remember in school racing to the library to, get some library books, and I'd be running in there and I'd pick out my books and I'd read the last page. If it didn't sound too good, I'd put it back on the shelf. So I like the ending, I guess, to be something that interests me. So I know that's a bad habit. You shouldn't do that, but I almost always do still to this day. Sometimes I don't, but number 12. My favorite music group is Train. I love them. Love their music. Love everything about them. They're from San Francisco, which is in the Bay Area where I live, and really, really love them. Just love their whole story, how they came up, and they went through a lot to get to where they are today, and I really, really love them. Number 13. A couple of you might know this. I have fibromyalgia, and it does cause a lot of problems where sometimes it really gets me where like sometimes that's why I haven't filmed in a little over a week right now, because it's really been flaring up bad lately, and my legs have really been hurting and my hands have been hurting. So it just affects like your muscles, and I also have a back problem. So while that's another number, I'll tell you about that. But anyway, so I have fibromyalgia, which I was diagnosed with lupus at first, and then when I changed, I had Kaiser. When I changed from them to a regular doctor, they said I didn't have lupus. So I don't know which one to believe. I've always felt like I had the symptoms of lupus, but I don't know. So I always have a positive ANA, which is indicative of lupus, but the titer is just one below where it should be for lupus. So I don't know. I mean, my doctor at Kaiser told me that I was in remission at that point where I switched doctors because I had to quit Kaiser because I changed jobs. So I really don't know. But anyway, the diagnosis is fibromyalgia for right now. Number 14. I went through 52 and a half hours of labor with my firstborn child, my daughter. And so that was a long time. She's going to be 30 in December. So that was almost 30 years ago, but I remember it, everything about it to this day. So, let's see. I only went through 8 hours labor with my son, so it's funny how, or 12 hours. It's funny the difference between the two. Number 15. My current favorite song is 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. And it's by Train, but it's not that it's by Train that I love it. That's not just the reason. I just love the song. It's a catchy song. I find myself playing it over in my head over and over and singing it. It's just one of those songs where you hear it and you keep thinking about it. Kind of like when you go to Disneyland and you hear It's a Small, Small World and you keep hearing it over and over and over. One of those kind of things. Number 16. My children are 10 years apart, but they're by the same father. I get asked that question all the time when they hear they're 10 years apart. My son is 19 and my daughter's 29. And I always get asked, oh, are they from the same father? Because they automatically assume it's going to be from two different fathers, but they are by the same father. Number 16. I hate radio commercials that have horns honking in them. Like, there's a lot of insurance commercials, different, like, car care commercials, things like that. And they always have the horns going off throughout the commercial. It scares the hell out of me. I mean, I'll be driving along and all of a sudden I hear somebody honking and it's like, it freaks you out if it's in the wrong situation. I mean, if you're parked at a stoplight by yourself and you hear somebody honking, you think they're about to hit you or something. It's like crazy. I'm sure that probably bothers a lot of people, but I can't stand those commercials. I really don't think they should be allowed to be played myself. You know, play them on TV, fine, but not on the radio. Let's see. Okay, I've been married 3 times. And my first husband I was married to for a few years, but we dated for like 4 years. And my second husband I was married to, I have to even think, for almost 21 years. And he's the one that I have the 2 children by. And my third husband, we got married in 2001, so we've been married 11 years in February. And we met on the internet. And I'm still very good friends with my first husband. And yes, my current husband does know that. And he made friends with him also. So we all get along just great with him and his wife. So no problems there. I know a lot of people think that's strange. They think you can't be friends with an ex, but it is totally possible. No problem. Number 19. My favorite dessert right now is pumpkin pecan cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. Oh my God. They come out with it every year around this time of year. If you have a Cheesecake Factory near you, you need to try it. You have to try it. If you like pumpkin pie at all, try it. It's awesome. Oh my God. The best dessert. I mean, if I had a whole one in front of me, I don't know what would happen. But, oh, it's so good. Number 20, here's the back thing. I have a broken vertebrae. God, I can't talk. A broken vertebrae in my back and degenerative disc. So the vertebrae is, there's a piece of it, the whole top part of it pushes forward. So it's totally out of place. There's no way to fix it except to go in and put screws in my back, which I was supposed to have done. I was supposed to have an operation, I think it was last year or the end of 2010, I believe. And I was supposed to get that fixed and the vertebrae because I have spinal stenosis. It's narrowing, and with the vertebrae pushed forward and everything, it's pinching against the nerve in my back, which is causing a lot of nerve pain. I have constant nerve pain, and it runs all the way down into my toes, and my toes really hurt bad, and it's causing a lot of problems. I mean, right now, if I have to walk, long distances for any length of time, I'll have to bring a cane with me. Like on vacation, I had to bring the cane with me, and I had to use it constantly because all the walking around we did on the ship, back and forth, I needed to use a cane. So for every day around home, around home in the house, I don't have to, because if I have any problems, I have furniture that I can hold on to. But it's not, that bad. Just going short distances, I might limp or something. But, I have a knee problem too. I had my knee operated on, and it's still acting up. So they said I probably have to have knee replacement surgery probably within the next couple of years. So I'll have that to look forward to. So that's a lot of the reason why I have problems walking a long distance, because of that, and then the nerve pain, because when the nerve really flares up bad, I'll have pain down both sides of my legs, and it's really hard to walk like that. Number 21, I hate peas. I can't stand peas. Don't want to be anywhere near peas. I've hated them since I was little. And I used to, my parents were not one to let you just try something, and if you didn't like it, you didn't have to eat it. That's how I was with my kids. But they made us eat whatever was on our plate. So what I used to do is put the peas in my mouth. Then I used to just leave them there, and I used to swallow my milk and swallow the peas along with the milk whole. So I wouldn't chew them at all. So that's the only way I could eat the peas. And it's funny, when I had my daughter, she loves peas, and she loves them to this day. I just used to put a little Pyrex bowl in front of her, and she used to pick one out at a time and eat them. It used to gross me out. So, it's disgusting. And my son, he doesn't like peas, but she just loves them. Let's see. Number 22. I hate Subway. Subway sandwiches. Can't stand the place, don't even want to go in it, can't stand the smell. And the reason why is because my husband and I tried to do that. Well, we were doing it. We did that Subway diet for a little while, and I got so sick of eating Subway sandwiches and smelling how it smelled in there when you'd go get your sandwich. It just grossed me out. I mean, now, whenever he loves the place, I mean, he'll go there. I mean, if he had the money to, he'd go there every single day for lunch. He goes there like maybe once a week now, but he was going every week before when I was working. And it's just disgusting. I So I tell him, you go while you're at work, that way I don't have to go. Let's see. Number 3. My greatest fear, I think, is fire. I just remember when I was a little younger and we were living in San Diego. Okay, I walked past this house a couple blocks away, and it had been burnt. And just the smell of it, and I think somebody died in it. Just the smell of it, it brought up thoughts of, somebody dying in the fire and what could happen, and just, such tragedy. So it's one of my biggest fears, especially we live in a condo. So, we're living on top of somebody. We're on the top floor. So if anything goes wrong downstairs, like somebody leaves a pan on the stove of oil or something, it catches on fire, well, the first thing it's going to do is come up here. So, because the heat rises and everything. So, greatest fear. Ugh, don't even like to think about it. Let's see. Number 24. Okay, I don't dream hardly ever. And that's one of the symptoms of fibromyalgia, that you never go into a deep sleep. Very rare. And that's why one of the things that triggers all the pain and this stuff happening is because your body never gets to really rest. In the deep REM sleep is when you do your body rejuvenates itself, so it never gets the chance to do that. So, but anyway, I very rarely dream, and when I do, it's usually always a dream where I'm being chased by somebody. And then they're about to catch me, and I wake up and I go, ah! So, same thing all the time. It's so weird. Let's see. Number 25. Let's see. Okay. I don't do it on camera. I try not to. But I probably swear too much. A little too much. I swear quite a bit at home. I don't know, I can't help it. When something irritates me, I usually swear. Or when somebody cuts me off when I'm driving, I'll swear. So I do have a problem with that. My husband, he's like a saint when it comes to swearing. He doesn't swear at all. The only time he'll swear is if he's quoting somebody else as doing it. So I have to, I don't, at first I used to watch it all the time around him, but I thought, then I'm not acting myself. So anyway, I do it, and I do it around him, and I know he doesn't like it that much, but he kind of just lets it go, but I'm trying to be better about it, and I think I have curtailed it quite a bit, and it's extremely rare I'll say something on a video, so, but I do, I don't get crude or anything, so, nothing like that, but anyway, those are my 25 questions. I take anybody to do this if you would like, and you could leave it as a video response. If anybody has any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.